Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thanks to all of the witnesses for being here. I've been enjoying listening to your testimony as I've been back and forth to other hearings, but thank you all for being here. I'm going to be a bit of a dissenting voice today. I'll be honest with you, the passage of the First Step Act predates me in the Senate. This happened before I came, so I wasn't involved in any of the negotiations, and I didn't get to vote for it one way or another. But and I certainly thank you for all the hard work those of you who were involved with it did. But I have to tell you, I've got major concerns with how it is playing out, and particularly when it comes to fentanyl. You know, my state, like I think every other state, sadly, in the country, is in the midst of a major fentanyl epidemic. I mean, just a major fentanyl epidemic. It is the #1 cause of death in the state of Missouri for young people who are over the age of 18, between 18 and 30, 32, by some margin. And it's just getting worse. If you go and talk to any law enforcement official in the state of Missouri, and I had the privilege of working with them all over the state when I was the state's attorney general, they will tell you that our communities in Missouri, all of them, rural, urban, doesn't matter, are just awash in drugs, and fentanyl in particular, worse and worse and worse. So I've got serious concerns about how this law is playing out with respect to fentanyl in particular. And I just want to put a few things on the record. You know, number one is we've got 190 people a day in the United States who die of a fentanyl overdose. Another Senate committee just heard testimony on this last week. That is, as one witness said at that committee hearing, that's like a 737 crashing every single day. And again, that is happening in my state. And what the First Step Act has done with regard to drug offenses, including fentanyl, is the following. It limited the application of enhanced penalties for serious drug offenses. It dramatically cut back on the use of mandatory minimums for serious drug offenses. Number three, it drastically scaled back punishments for repeat drug offenders. And the U.S. Sentencing Commission that tracks this data has found now that enhanced sentences for repeat offenders has gone down by more than 33% since the First Step Act was implemented. And all of that combines to effectively decrease big time the penalties for fentanyl. And then when you add in the fact that the current president's Sentencing Commission has gone even further, the Sentencing Commission now tracking again sentences for fentanyl found that the average fentanyl trafficking sentence, so not possession, trafficking, the average trafficking sentence has gone down by more than 12 months over the last 5 years, the average sentence. And more than a third of fentanyl offenders receive a downward variance from their recommended sentence. Again, that's trafficking, that's not possession. So my concern is that at a time when we've got record amounts of fentanyl coming over the border, 27,000 pounds were seized last year. That's hundreds of millions of doses. The DE estimates that 20,000 pounds of fentanyl would be enough for 800 million lethal doses. That's 860% more seized last year than in 2019. And that's just the amount that was interdicted. Who knows how much actually got through. At a time when we are just awash with this, the effect of the First Step Act when it comes to fentanyl has been to give traffickers and repeat offenders a pass. And I just think that is a huge problem. And I know in my state, it is having hugely detrimental effects. So, you know, I know Mr. Smith, Charles Smith, you're a prosecutor. In fact, right now you're the president of the National District Attorneys Association, I think. Is that correct?
Yes, Senator, that is correct.
Yeah, well, thank you for your tremendous work. And again, thank you all for being here. And thank you for your tremendous work in that connection. You're on the front lines, and believe me, I appreciate you. The people of Missouri appreciate our attorneys. We call them prosecuting attorneys in Missouri. Mm-hmm. And just appreciate the tremendous work that you do. And I salute your work, and to salute all of you on the panel. I just want to say, for my part, as a former prosecutor, I'm concerned by the position we're putting prosecutors in. I'm concerned most of all, though, by the position we're putting kids and families in by allowing repeat trafficking serious offenders to get lighter, lesser sentences. And I'm concerned about the effects this is having on safety in my state, on overdoses in my state. And I hope that there's something that we can do about this in the future. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.